Well, last night I took a glimpse. I just had my laptop there and I was like, oh, let me look at the YouTube, see what's happening. How's the health of the YouTube channel? And wouldn't you know it, there's a bunch of commenters. There's comments on our YouTube videos. And as we all know, guys, if you spent time on the internet, you know that the comments section on YouTube generally is at best a dumpster fire of idiocy and treachery. It is terrible. And wouldn't you know it, Jerry, the comments on our YouTube channel. Now, I'm not speaking of everyone in the comments. There are a few of you in these comments that are normal, well-adjusted, opinionated people that have found our videos and thank you for your input. Aside from that, Jerry, there are a wealth of butthurt little nerds on this YouTube channel commenting on our videos.
At least they watched it.
And I mean, really, these are sad, basement-dwelling, butthurt, motherfucking little nerds.
It's the internet, man.
You guys are butthurt little nerds in a basement.
Listen, I can't criticize.
These kids, I have to hope these are kids. If these are adults, I am upset for them. Dude. I'm going to hope these are children. They are so upset about some of my views about Kurt Cobain.
Oh, well, that was going to happen.
Oh, my God.
Because it's been favorable.
These little fucks.
Else. It's been favorable everywhere else. Like, I was like, why is this getting on so well? Like, he has a severe dislike for Kurt Cobain. And I was like, where's the blowback here? Because
anyone with good taste in human beings doesn't enjoy Kurt Cobain as a person. You can't.
You know,
his music is separate from the person. I'm not talking about Nirvana. I'm not talking about Come As You Are, his songwriting, his performances. That is art. That is okay. You can choose to like it or not. I like it. I like it. I like a lot of Nirvana music. I love most of Bleach. I love most of Nevermind. And I'm sure there are some assorted other Nirvana jams that I enjoy. I can say that I like enough of Nirvana to be at least a casual fan. I could call myself a fan of Nirvana. Right. Kurt Cobain, the man...
You're doubling down on this now.
He's a piece of shit.
Okay.
He's just not a nice guy. And since we did our episode, we talked plenty about how Kurt was coming at Guns N' Roses, coming at poor Pearl Jam, even
Tool.
And then we see he's coming at Tool. Like, he couldn't help himself but give a negative opinion in the public
super young guy.
About his peers.
But he was very young.
He wasn't that fucking young.
He was like 25, 26.
He was no younger than the guys in Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Tool. They were all peers.
I was shocked that we didn't get any negative feedback. I don't look at comments generally on YouTube because it's a public forum.
And these kids on the YouTube channels,
they might be adults, dude.
I'm going to call them kids because they better be kids. Because if these are adults, they should be fucking ashamed of themselves.
Somebody who saw that, looked at that, remembered when they were young, and they said, listen, man, my 48th birthday's next week. I'm going to listen to this.
These are children with
what do they say about
families that clearly don't love them.
I don't want to give them any pub, but like, was it especially biting?
They're not even saying things like, hey, maybe you shouldn't use these kind of words to talk about Kurt or whatever. These guys are talking about Kurt Cobain as if they knew him personally or like related to him because they know his personality and love him, which, let's be honest, they couldn't possibly know his personality because they didn't know him. They're saying he's a wonderful human being. He stood up for bullying, the victims of bullying. He wanted to bring people together. He was a sweetheart. How dare you?
What was the worst name you were called?
Oh, I wasn't called names exactly. They were just, like, who do you think you are? What kind of person are you? Kurt was amazing. He was against bullying. Kurt was a low-life bully. He was the bully. He was actually the bully. He's the guy who had a platform. He got popular through his art, which that is the goal, right? You're a young man, you start a band, you want people to hear it, you want to succeed. And he hit the lottery through his talent and timing and everything, and he became rich and famous and had a platform where when he spoke in public, he knew that there was an audience of thousands or millions that would hear him and value his words. And what did he choose to do with this platform? He chose to shit on other artists.
Dunking on people.
You know?
That's what he was. He was just straight bam,
And
shack attack.
I won't go on about Kurt because,
I
frankly, he doesn't deserve my energy. But I just wanted to mention that these sad children on our YouTube channel.
One negative comment about myself, and it fucked me up. So when I go into a general, if it's not on the social media platform or anything like that, if I go into a general website, like I don't go on like Google and look at us.
Oh yeah,
I've never done that. It will only bust me up. You know?
I don't care. I don't. You know, we get emails, I read them. We get Patreon messages, I read them.
Right. So if it's direct, but
this was the first time I'd even looked at the YouTube.
But I did watch the Nirvana one, and I was waiting, and I guess it's been a week. I haven't looked at it, and I was like, because you were so hardline on this poor cat.
Poor cat.
He is just sinking his shots, living the good life, talking the shit he needs to talk. Because he was young. He was on drugs. Fuck. Yeah. He was on lots of drugs. I mean, what do we do when we're on drugs? We talk shit.
He was an adult making choices, is what he was.
But we knew a lot. The guy we're going to cover here today, Lane Staley, he was on drugs, but he was so nice.
Yep.
Like, I read some interviews.
You look at the rest of all of these bands. Look at this Seattle scene. Look at Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Nirvana. 3 of them have a shitload in common. Chris Cornell, as if you follow along on our Instagram, this week I've been posting a lot of pictures. What I normally do is, we put out a new episode on a Monday. Mm-hmm. And throughout, that week, I like to post a lot of stuff, particularly on the Instagram stories, about that band and album that we featured. So we just did Bad Motorfinger last time. So I've been posting a lot of Bad Motorfinger era photos of Chris Cornell and Soundgarden and live footage and all this stuff. And what you'll find throughout all of these bands is they all support each other.
They work together.
You'll see Chris Cornell often wearing Pearl Jam shirts, Nirvana shirts. They're hanging out with Lane Staley.
This album.
We're doing this album today. Today, guys, we're late getting to it here. We're 40 minutes in. We are going to do it.
Mudgarden.
We're talking about Alice in Chains, the SAP EP. Mm-hmm. And this is a beautiful, short little EP that they did. Chris Cornell sings on the record. Mm-hmm. Mark Arm from Mudhoney sings on the record. Was it Ann Wilson?
Ann Wilson from
Ann
Heart.
Wilson from Heart sings on this
album. They're
album.
all in one song.
Yeah. These guys are all together. And, of course, we did a bonus episode earlier on Temple of the Dog. Mm-hmm. The guys from Soundgarden and Pearl Jam working together. These guys were, part of a scene together, and they were unified, and they were together, and they were being great, except Nirvana. Kurt just couldn't keep his shitty mouth shut.
Everyone, they could do the other guys have multiple people in the band, more than 3. They were spread thin. There's only so much you can do with only 3 people. There's only so much we can do with 2.
Meaning what exactly? Are you in some way excusing Kurt's poor behavior?
The more I read about it, it's getting harder.
It is. You're raising a child. When that child reaches, her 20s and maybe she has an artistic endeavor, would you like her to be more of the Eddie Vedder type or the Kurt Cobain type?
We as a family are very supportive of everything. We don't. Yeah. We don't work on it. We don't. Trash talk is not necessary.
Yeah. If she acted like Kurt Cobain, would you be proud of that behavior?
No, not at all.
No, because you shouldn't.
I'd karate chop.
Because it's horrible behavior that is not to be looked up to. One of these sad little shit commenters actually basically excused his behavior because he said, Kurt had millions of fans and that speaks for itself.
That's right.
And I pointed out to this commenter that Bill Cosby had millions of fans.
Oh, God damn.
Okay?
Jesus
millions
Christ,
of fans.
That's different.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's the same. And it's the same because millions of fans does not excuse
bad behavior.
Terrible behavior. If you're a piece of shit, having millions of fans makes it no better. It is no excuse. So that's all. Now we're
going to get more comments on YouTube because we talked about it.
Well, bring it, you little fucks. Bring it. I'm talking to you little YouTube commenting fuckheads. Let's hear what you got to say out of your fucking sad mom's basement.
And YouTube. Everybody who does a YouTube show will talk about it first.
These little fucks.
We went
anyway,
minutes.
Guys, we're talking about Alice in Chains today.